Stan, I just called you not 4 hours ago. What's up?
Bergshot, I hate to ask this, but is there any way you can come home? I just got a call from Mr. Kelso. They've moved up my probationary review to next week.
Wait, what? It wasn't supposed to be for another 3 years.
Yeah, no kidding, Sherlock. You think I forgot that? But Mr. Kelso has been keeping the probation board in California informed of my situation. And between him and the reports they're getting from Nathan, they said they wanted to see me. Oh, Birch, I'm shaking so much I could thread a sewing machine while it's running. Now I know this tour was my idea, but please, can you come home for a few days? I really need your support.
Stan, don't worry. Plenty of other artists have had to cancel concerts for personal reasons. I'll be there just as soon as we finish tomorrow's Boise concert. I contacted the 3 cities after Boise and canceled the concert there. I promised them that I would make it up at a future date. The Boise concert went all right despite a couple of missteps. Those were on me. I was distracted. But right afterward, I left everyone else to dismantle the set and pack up the instruments, and I made a beeline for the airport. From Boise, Idaho to West Virginia is 30 hours by bus, so a plane made much more sense. That would be 17 hours with all the layovers. The rest of the crew could take their time coming back to Huntington. Stan needed me now, and I was going to be there for him. I made calls to Mr. Kelso, Nathan Johnson, and several others. That confirmed what I had suspected this change meant. And I knew there would be several things that needed to be done after the hearing. Then I called Les. He wasn't happy, but he understood. I had him make the arrangements for the 2 buses and truck to meet me in Huntington, with decent places to sleep at night on the way. He also negotiated new dates for the ones I had to cancel. I loaded up on Dramamine, which prevented the air sickness I knew I was going to get, and had the added benefit of knocking me out during the flights. I was going to need all the energy I could muster to keep Stan from panicking. I arrived in Huntington late afternoon the next day, and Stan was waiting for me. I told him that I would drive, just like I did all those years ago when I got pulled away from the Caribbean cruise. Stan was far too nervous to be driving. I assured him again that this was not bad news. He wasn't convinced, but he did calm down with me there. Since it took me nearly a full day to get home, the hearing was only 5 days after I arrived. I spent the time getting Stan a new suit, and one for me as well. Neither of us were used to the formalities anymore, and it was always a good idea to dress well for judges. We met the buses and truck when they arrived 2 days later and got them temporarily stowed away. Then Stan and I had to fly out to Sacramento, California, since that was where he was sentenced. I managed to forget my air sickness on that flight since I was desperately trying to keep Stan calm the entire flight. The next morning we went to the courthouse and found the hearing room where we were met by Mr. Kelso. He greeted Stan with a smile and told him to relax before going to speak privately with the parole officer, before both of them went to the judge. I could feel poor Stan seated next to me, trembling terribly. He had already bitten his claws down to a nub. I batted the paw away from his mouth lest he start making them bleed again. After some talk, Kelso came back to sit on the other side of Stan with a huge smile on his face. The judge signed a few papers, then looked straight at Stan.
Calling case 6549-8657. State of California versus Stan Grizzly. Will all interested parties please rise?
The 3 of us rose.
You are Stan Grizzly?
Yes, Your Honor.
I need only have you confirm that the information I have is in fact correct. You can simply acknowledge each item. It will not be necessary to put you under oath. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, sir.
I am showing that aside from this one conviction, you've had no other criminal activity, either felony or misdemeanor. Is this correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
I am also showing that you've obtained anti-androgen medication on a regular basis with no lapses whatsoever. Is this also correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that's true.
I also have reports from your therapist, Nathan Johnson, who says your progress has been exemplary and that you plan to continue therapy indefinitely, correct?
Oh, absolutely, sir. Without a doubt.
Very well. It is the opinion of this court, sustained by your parole officer, that the remainder of your parole be commuted. Your location will no longer be tracked, and you will no longer be required to report to your parole officer. Records of your chemical therapy may be requested at any time, as well as your therapy records. Those will be sealed by the court. Your name will still appear on the sex offenders list in all 50 states, but you will not be required to volunteer that information unless requested. Do you understand?
Really? Oh, yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
So ordered this day. Officer, if you would remove the defendant's ankle monitor.
Stan nearly collapsed into his seat. I got out of the way of the parole officer so he could remove the monitor. Once off, Stan started sobbing.
Birch, I can't believe it. I'm finally free.
Not completely, Stan. You still have to continue your therapy and injections.
But Birch, are you kidding? Those are what help me stay free. Why in the world would I stop him now?
And now that you are free, you're coming with me.
With you? Where?
The rest of the tour, Stan. You're never leaving my side again.
Wait, what? A tour? But I'm writing. I have a deadline to meet.
Bring the laptop. Bring your notes. You'll have plenty of time on the bus. Bring your guitar, too. You're going to be on that stage with me, Stan, like you always should have been.
Yeah, but Birch, someone's got to keep an eye on the house. Who's going to do that?
Got a security firm on it already, Stan. They'll meet up with us when we get back to Huntington. It's all covered, Stan. You have no excuse anymore. There isn't that much left of the tour, a few months at most. Then we come back home. No more long tours.
But you're the one who needs the tours, Birch. I don't.
And I'll still have them, Stan. But none of this year-long stuff. A few select spots, just a month or two each time. And you're coming with me on those too. You need to get out yourself. See this country. It's beautiful, Stan. It will do you good. But every time we come back home.
Birch, thank you. I mean that. You've always been there for me.
Stan, you keep saying that. Well, you've always been there for me, too. Even when I hated your guts, you were there for me. Why else would you keep trying to reach me? And when I hit rock bottom with Maria, that's when I knew. I saw the sun begin to dim and felt that winter wind blow cold. A man learns who is there for him when the glitter fades and the walls won't hold. 'Cause from that rubble, what remains can only be what's true. If all was lost, there's more I gained, 'cause it led me back to you. I drank champagne with governors and politicians praise my name. But those were someone else's dreams, the pitfalls of the bear I became. For years and years, I chased their cheers, the crazy speed of always wanting more. But when I stop and see you here, I remember who all this was for. And from now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the lights. From now on, what's waited till tomorrow starts tonight. It starts tonight. And let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart. From now on, from now not be blinded by the lights. What's waited till tomorrow starts tonight. It starts tonight. Let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart. From now on, from now on, from now on. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. Bring the suit and your best stage clothes, Stan. Make yourself comfortable, Stan. Our next stop is Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm getting butterflies again, Birch. I kind of miss that feeling.
Knew it. We're more alike than we know.